Welcome back to Jeff Randall Live. After much hype in the lead up to a secretive invitation-only press event at its headquarters in California, Facebook has revealed it is to launch a new search function. The new addition, called Graph Search, will allow users to look for information and pictures posted by their friends. The social network has been falling out of favour with investors since its flotation last May. At one point, the shares were down by now about 50%. They've since recovered somewhat as well. Here with Gherkin is Stuart Miles, founder and chief executive of technology website PocketLint.com. Nice to see you, Stuart. Thanks for coming in. What's old Zuckerberg up to here?
So the idea is that you can now search contents within Facebook in a similar way to Google, but instead of saying I'd like a movie direction, instead of appearing as a page of links that sends you somewhere else, it will try and give you the answer. A really good example of this would be, I want restaurants in San Francisco that my friends like, and it will come up with suggestions.
So does there always have to be a friends link to this? If you just say, I'd like restaurants in San Francisco, what happens?
The idea is that it searches the links, your social graph, as they call it, your friends that have liked restaurants in San Francisco, and gives you the answer. If it doesn't have any of that information, it defaults to a deal they've done with Bing to give you just regular search results.
Interesting. So something does come up. You don't get a blank. Now, you've just come from the simulcast press conference. What was the response to this?
I think there seemed to be a fear of privacy. There's always a very strong privacy fear with Facebook. Zuckerberg said that there was basically nothing that you can't see will be shown. So there's no difference in the privacy settings. However, what's interesting is you'll be able to just view them in a different way. Another example they gave is I could suddenly search for my friends' photos that were all taken before 1990. For example, so suddenly I see anybody that's uploaded images of them as a kid.
Right, but that's the trick, isn't it? Those being searched have to sign up for this. They have to play the game. They have to put the pictures on. You can't suddenly search for pictures of Stuart Miles in nappies if you haven't already given us access.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting, though, is that people sometimes, there's always a fear of what you upload to Facebook is suddenly found somewhere else. And there is a sense of you can search for things like, what do doctors like watching on television? It turns out it's Grey's Anatomy, according to the search they did live for us.
Right.
But if I had a doctor, and if I said, what do doctors, also my friends, and at some point there was an element there that was kept in private, then I wouldn't see it. If I'd made everything public, which is what they're hoping you'll do, then I would see everything.
Is this a valuable add-on? I mean, I can't imagine tapping in to a search engine and saying, you know, I'm going to San Francisco. Which restaurants do my friends like?
Where it works is if you have lots of connections, where you've got lots of people sort of pulling data in, because it's contextual. The idea is if you like a certain type of restaurant, the chances are your friends will probably like the same type of restaurant.
Possibly.
And therefore you can tap into that information, rather than typing into Google restaurants in San Francisco and just getting a menagerie of stuff that you have no idea about.
He's not a social do-gooder, is he, Zuckerberg? There is a financial imperative here. How does he monetize all this?
At the moment, he's doing the usual, which is it's not about the money, it's not about
It's about changing the world.
It's about changing the world. However, there is an element which says that they already do sponsored results and sponsored searches. This would tap in very nicely. You have to look at the other player in the market, Google. They make most of their money through sponsored links within searches that we click on once we've searched for something. This would be very easy for Facebook to replicate that if more and more people are starting to use it.
As I said in the introduction there, immediately after the initial flotation of its shares, Facebook had a horror show. They halved in value, but they have clawed a lot back. Is that in anticipation of this, do you think? Were investors punting on something like this? What do you think the investor reaction will be?
I think a lot of people are excited by this. Certainly at the event I was at, there seemed to be the Facebookers in the room. The word that we're getting from the US launch as well, there were a lot of people excited by this. They've been working on this for quite some time. What's interesting is this is a very clear way that they would be able to monetize the site, but in addition to that, convince you to stay on the site longer. If you're using it for searching restaurants or you're searching films to watch or things like that, it's another reason to use Facebook. And at the moment, there's been a sort of trend to try and cull a lot of your Facebook friends, keep a very niche sort of element where it's a trusted area, and this obviously encourages you to expand those circles once more.
Indeed. All right, Stuart Miles. It's all a mystery to me. Thanks, mate. Nice to see you.
No problem.
Well, that's almost all we've time for this evening, but before